If you were a superhero, Aman, what would your catchphrase be?
Wow. Okay. I mean, as you said in my introduction, like I really feel like I'm a hustler. I think that is kind of my superhero catchphrase. Like, I'm going to hustle till we get to where we need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe hustle with responsibility.
Hustle with responsibility. Aman Singh. Hey there, and welcome to Impact After Hours, where changemakers sign off from work and log into life. I'm Camille Lorente, CEO and co-founder of Human Group Media and your host. Today, I'm excited to find out what Aman Singh, Director of Global ESG and Sustainability Communications at Kenvue, is really like off-duty. Master strategist, serial dot connector, social impact hustler. These are just some of the words used to describe Aman. For almost 20 years, she has guided organizations on their sustainability journeys and conveyed their achievements through masterful storytelling. Her superb track record earned her a spot in the top 100 trustworthy thought leaders list by Trust Across America. But now it's time for her to tell her own story through our carefully crafted questionnaire. And I trust that we'll both have a bit of fun in the process. Aman, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So you're originally from India. Mm-hmm. I'm originally from the Philippines. Have you been back to visit India?
Actually, we went back last year after a gap of 5 years.
How was that like?
It's not the country I grew up in.
How so?
Immediately, you feel the pollution when you enter Delhi. Mm-hmm. It puts a haze across everything. I think lifestyles have changed a lot. It's much more cosmopolitan, lots more job opportunities. I see a lot of younger kids working, whether it's the mall or the stores or even kind of pop-ups and startups, completely different feel to kind of the economy, the lifestyle, even more congested. When you are doing well economically, you can afford more stuff.
Yes, that's true.
But geographically, it's the city that is. So it's bursting at the seams.
Yes. But is there anything, so when you went back home recently, was there anything they kind of picked up and said like, oh, this is what I miss the most about living here? I
will say I miss the cultural ease that we have back home. There's a feel of community. You can go to your neighbor without giving them a heads up and have a conversation. Or I think it's just that familial feel.
Yes.
You feel home.
Exactly. And it is different because you are a different person, right?
Yeah.
From when you left your home country. But when you come back to visit, there's a sense of, it's like you're in some type of capsule. Like you went back somewhere, again, very familiar, sort of convenient in terms of like, your personality and, there are still remnants of like where you grew up.
I mean, I've officially crossed that threshold of being in America longer than in India.
Okay.
So, kind of straddling that every time I go back, I have a different mindset and perspective, but you still feel at home in a weird way.
Yes. I know that. And whenever we go back home, so my husband and I think we went home like around 2 years ago. It's just people are also excited to like learn how it's been like. Right? Living in a foreign country for this amount of time. So me over like a decade now to like you, Aman. And it's different, but again, like there's that like warmth that you feel the moment you step on that soil.
Yeah. Yeah.
The moment you land in your home country. And
definitely,
this is something that I'm very excited to talk to you about because the work that we do at Human Group Media is, we are a podcast production company, but at the core of that is storytelling. and we know that you are an amazing one. And before this, I did some sleuthing and I read some of, the reviews about you and, the glowing recommendations about how amazing you are. Do you have a piece of advice for anyone out there, anyone who's listening or watching us on YouTube, who's struggling to tell their own story? Like, what would you tell them?
I think first is own your story. Be confident in who you are and what makes you you. I think that's important. I think a lot of us, especially folks who move across countries, it's a bit of a journey to figure out, who am I? Where do I belong? How do I identify? And then in a professional setting, what do I bring to the table? So I think owning that story is critical. And then I think it's practice your story, right? Stories work when they're authentic, but to be authentic, you need practice. So even for the best speakers in the world, they do not go on stage without pouring hours into body language, how they show up, the nuances, what you really want people to take away. And so I would say own your story and then practice your story.
So let's camp out here for a little bit. So on the personal side, right? Like owning your story, was there ever a time where you felt like you also struggled there?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, when I came to this country, I was finishing university in Delhi and starting university here. And imagine English being my first language. So language was not a barrier, but coming to New York City and starting university as a junior, everyone has their friends made, the groups are made, right? Like people are way into their college journey. So for me, it was very much about reinventing myself, gathering the courage to be able to talk in these groups, knowing the cultural differences are many. Everything from the TV shows we've grown up watching to the accent, to how certain vowels sound, to kind of some of the references they would throw out and expect everyone to laugh. And I'd be like, I didn't quite get that. So there was definitely a period of time where I, went just head in on kind of, how do I make this work? I took a part-time job at a CVS pharmacy. That was my first job in America.
Wow.
And I had an amazing store manager who just became my mentor, and I'm still in touch with 22 years later.
Oh, that's amazing.
Taught me about the currency and how to greet customers and how to be kind of, customer first approach. And I learned everything from products to inventory. Kind of, I think the retail setting and her mentorship, that was my first American experience. And it gave me the confidence then to be myself outside work,
So in terms of practice, one thing that I literally had this thought, because some of our guests on the show and, people that we've worked with at Human Group Media, they are such like natural, like storytellers, but that they've shared some part of that on other interviews, on other podcasts, but they still sound very natural. Do you have any tips on that? So practice, right, is what you said earlier?
I think so. I think practice. I think think through if there are 3 or 4 things that you feel like makes you uniquely you or sets you up well in the professional setting. Think through which one makes sense in the moment you are in. And, it comes to kind of my everyday job, which is in communications, know your audience.
Yes.
If you're speaking to a CEO, they will really appreciate a story of perseverance and diligence and results and maybe a data point, right? But if you're talking to a retailer or you're talking to someone in HR, they may be motivated more by how you're a team player and how you look at projects and how you manage teams. So they all can come together to form you as a whole person, right? They're not 2 different pieces of you, but you tell those stories differently based on who you're talking to.
So practice and know your audience. Like
100%.
Those, if you master those, I feel like you're going to soar.
Absolutely.
But we made you a promise, and we promised you that we'd have fun. So it's time to find out more about who you are, Aman.
Okay.
And a lightning round of seemingly random questions. Are you ready to play with me?
Let's do it.
Time or energy? Which would you rather have more of?
Wow. Energy.
Energy. Why energy?
I think to bring my best self more often in the time I have. Versus having to break the day into what can I do really well and what can I just get through.
Yes. And is it, as we grow older and have more responsibilities, do you find yourself just, like really wanting more energy?
100%. Yes. It's like, you can tell. I think that there's a couple of moments in your life when you have a couple of kids, you're in the rhythm of things, everything is moving fast, and then your body tells you, wait. So you got to slow down somewhere, girl,
yes,
to keep up with everything. And I'm definitely going through that right now, like learning self-limits in how much I can do and how well.
Okay, take it or leave it. Watching a TV show or movie with the subtitles on.
Oh yeah, I've done that so much.
So with subtitles or no subtitles?
With subtitles.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, totally. Especially with newborns.
With newborns, that's correct. You cannot enjoy any form of media, I feel, or consume something in its purest form with like the volume on.
That's right.
Turned on.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather sit in the middle seat on a packed airplane or the aisle seat right next to the bathroom?
Oh my, that's a hard one. Well, see, I'm pretty short, so I'll go with the middle seat.
Middle seat.
Yes, in a packed plane. I'll just like scooch up, and just make my own space.
Yeah.
Instead of being by the bathroom.
If you were a superhero, Aman, what would your catchphrase be?
Wow. Okay. I mean, as you said in my introduction, like I really feel like I'm a hustler. I think that is kind of my superhero catchphrase. Like, I'm going to hustle till we get to where we need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe hustle with responsibility.
Hustle with responsibility. Aman Singh. That sounds like a great one. Okay. Last question. What is your least favorite color and why?
White. And I think it's so vanilla and says nothing. And I know for some people it's pure and beautiful and absolutely, but for me it just, I don't like white clothes. I don't like white walls. It just, I don't know. I feel like we need color in our life.
Now we go to the outdoors.
Okay.
What activities do you like to do? And if you can share with us like top 3 items that you absolutely need to bring when you go out with your family.
So, I have, obviously I have a husband and I have 2 boys. Mm-hmm. So I have a very active family who would be outdoors all day if we could make that work. So I will say I've been a slow convert to that level of energy. I, in my free time, would rather have a chair in the sun and read a book. Mm-hmm. And my family is, let's go hike. Let's go climb a mountain. Let's go bike.
Oh my gosh.
So, yes, they have pulled me on this journey against my will. And now I really enjoy it. So I would say we spend a lot of time. We're lucky to live in an area of New Jersey where we have mountains close by for hiking. We have lots of nature trails. They bike, I walk. A lot of our summer trips are to places where there's a beach, but also places for walking and hiking and things like that. So it's definitely becoming a bigger part of our kind of vacation planning. Top 3 things. Snacks, number 1.
Yes.
Snacks, water, and let's see. I guess they're swim clothes.
Swim clothes.
Don't know when they'll want to get into the water. Where?
You never know. If
never
there's
know.
A body of water.
Or have them wear it below their clothes.
Yes, that's a good one. But also, you're repping New Jersey very well because you you kind of took us to nature a little bit.
I do like New Jersey. I know New Jersey gets a lot of flack, but it's my adopted home since I came to the U.S.
Yes.
It's where I landed, and it's not perfect, but I think we get some things right. And part of it is we're the Garden State, and I love that.
Is there any meal that you have that brings you back to your childhood?
Oh, yeah. All of it is Indian meals. Yeah. There's one of my favorite breakfasts growing up used to be, my mom was a teacher, so breakfast was very quick. Everyone is on a deadline. She has to catch her bus. I have to catch my bus. So it used to be, the Indian roti, but the fried version of it.
Yum.
And with a sunny side up egg.
Wow.
So very simple, but it's something that just always takes me home. It was something that we started our day with, and just, always reminds me of growing up.
Do you make it yourself?
Yeah. But it's more of a weekend treat now.
It's more of a weekend treat. Why is that?
I mean, here we've turned to American breakfasts. We are doing the cereals and the croissants and the bagels and,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I don't cook, so let that be stated before.
Let me join you in that I don't cook much myself. That mantle is my husband's and my lovely mother-in-law who lives with us.
Okay. I was going to ask you how to make the perfect roti, but
she would be the one to answer that. Yeah.
Yes, we would have to invite your mother-in-law.
Yes.
So
I have tried my hand at it, and they come out as different continent and shapes.
I know.
They're edible, but they're not perfect.
Yes. Describe your favorite place to be using the five senses. So your favorite place using the five senses. What does it look and smell like? What can you hear and touch there? And if it had a taste, what would it be?
I think I would be somewhere in a forest, in a hut. I would be hearing leaves rustling and maybe some birds. Taste, what would that taste like? I think like the rain just ended.
Yes.
Right? That nice earthy feeling. And then what would I touch? Just your natural surroundings. My younger son is really into nature, and he recently has picked up the habit of going outside and picking up different types of leaves, and then we Google what leaf is what and the origins and how it came to Jersey and all that. So I think that feeling.
And then, but when it rains and that soil, I know that there's a word for it, and I'm gonna Google it after this, right? Like the smell of the soil after it rains.
Yeah.
Doesn't it like feel like it stops time?
Yes,
right?
Totally.
So I hear you. I hear you on that. Okay. So you talked about your kids. We talked about our kids offline. But if you, Aman, could learn any musical instrument, what would it be and why?
I think I would love to play the drums. And I think it's because it is so essential to pretty much any song. It keeps the song anchored. It gives you the energy. And it kind of is the instrument that leads the whole song. And I will say I'm inspired on that point by my older son. He's a drummer. He's been doing it for 3 years. And, he's at that age where he's still figuring out, relationships and friendships. And, he's not the most outgoing yet. But when he drums, it's like, he's a different person.
Yes.
He's doing it with all his energy. And it's just, I feel like that I would enjoy that. I sometimes tease him, like, let me sing an Indian song and you do the drums. And he's like, really? No, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And, the thing is, like, he doesn't put in a lot of practice, but he goes to his, weekly classes, and he's part of a band, and then they have shows like every 3 months. So I think it's that being able to perform in a team with across age groups. Like he performs with kids all the way from, I think, 2nd or 3rd grade, all the way into high school. So he's learning to be in large groups, multi-age groups, and then how do we make it all sync, right?
Yeah. And I don't want to make this sound too cheesy, but my husband, who you met earlier, he plays the drums. That's how.
Oh.
Yes, exactly. So I was like, I want to play the drums. He kind of taught me how to play the drums.
Nice.
We didn't go that far. My skill level is next to nothing still. But I know how whenever, I don't know, I watch a band or something, I'm always drawn to like the drummer. I'm always trying to see what that person is up to. More so than the front vocalist, the front person, right?
Yeah.
So kudos to your son. So
yeah, no, I know.
We have come to the end, Aman. And we need to now talk about your go-to after hours media.
Ooh.
So what have you been watching, reading, or listening to lately?
Couple of things. One, there's a book that recently came out called How Parenting Children in a Changing Climate. So a little bit serious, but it's really useful to it breaks down in terms of practical tips on how to talk to your kids about a world that is clearly changing. And they will have a different relationship with it when they've grown up in 15 to 20 years. So I'm really appreciating that book because I do find this a topic that is both close to my heart because of my work, but also hard to speak about in a futuristic way with kids who are so inspiring and still learning things, and we don't want them to feel pessimistic about the future. So it's helping me bring those two things together. And then I think my go-to show right now, I'm going through the seasons of The Resident. It's a medical show on Netflix. I just love each episode. They try to bring in such powerful stories through the lens of a team of doctors and nurses. So that's what I'm watching these days.
Aman, before we officially let you go, is there anything big that's coming up for you? Anything that you want to share with our listeners, like projects or something that we can watch out for?
So as you mentioned at the top of our interview, I work at Kenvue. Kenvue, very in 10 seconds, is the recently spun off company from J&J. We're the consumer health arm. And, the company is going through a transformation from being part of a pharmaceutical to being a consumer health company, all about really helping people advance their well-being. So because I lead our sustainability communications, I'm really excited. We're going to be launching our second annual report about the work we're doing through what we call our Healthy Lives mission. And that's about really how we're using the power of our brands and our products, including things like Listerine, Neutrogena, Aveeno, but also like Tylenol and Motrin. How are we using that and the power of this, the brands to really help people live better, but as well as our planet. So what are the innovations we're doing? How are we really trying to bring the two together so there's no compromise? So I'm excited about trying to tell some stories once we launch that and really be able to help engage more people on how can they continue to use the products they use, but do it in a more conscious way.
Aman, this was fun. I hope it was fun for you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you soon.
Lovely talking to you, and all the best.